The Atlantic slave trade narrative is one of the greatest hoaxes in human history. Black Americans and Caribbeans are not of African origin. Let's take a look at this letter written in 1755 by Benjamin Franklin himself. In this letter, he expresses his concern over a massive influx of German immigrants that are flooding into the colonies. Let's see how he describes not only these German colonists, but also the inhabitants of Europe at this time. And I'm going to show you that Black Americans and Caribbeans are not of African origin, and that the Atlantic slave trade, the out of Africa narrative, is a hoax. This is Observation Concerning the Increase of Mankind, 1755 by Benjamin Franklin. Why should the Palatine Boers, Germans, be suffered to swarm into our settlements, and by herding together establish their language and manners to the exclusion of ours? Why should Pennsylvania, founded by the English, be a colony of aliens, who will shortly be so numerous as to Germanize us, instead of our Anglifying them, and will never adopt our language or customs any more than they can acquire our complexion? So, it is a historical fact, it is known, that Benjamin Franklin was a Caucasian. He was a white man. So he's saying that these German immigrants have a different complexion than himself. Keep that in mind. They have a different complexion than that of a Caucasian. They don't share the same skin color. Which leads me to add one remark. The number of purely white people in the world is proportionably very small. All Africa is black or tawny, Asia chiefly tawny, America, exclusive of the newcomers, wholly so. Now get this, pay attention. And in Europe, the Spaniards, Italians, French, Russians, and Swedes are generally of what we call a swarthy complexion. This is a first-hand account describing the people inhabiting Europe in the 1700s. They're described as having a swarthy complexion. The Spaniards, Italians, French, Russians, and Swedes are all of what we call a swarthy complexion. Now let's get what the definition of swarthy is. Swarthy, dark of complexion, black, dusky, or tawny. Again, swarthy means to be of dark complexion or black complexion. To have black skin, to be dark, dark-skinned, not pale complexion, not white, not Caucasian, not pale skin, not fair skin. To be swarthy in complexion means that you are of a dark or black complexion. Benjamin Franklin in this letter is describing black, swarthy complexion Germans. These are not white people. These are the ancestors of American and Caribbean blacks. We did not come from Africa. Now, the lie they're going to tell you is that complexion means hair color, but complexion does not describe hair color. Complexion means the color of one's skin. Here we see complexion, definition, the color of the skin, particularly of the face, the color of the external parts of the body or thing, as a fair complexion, a dark complexion, or the complexion of the sky. So this is describing the color of these Germans, these Europeans' face. It is describing the complexion, the skin color, the color of the face of these French, Spaniards, Russians, Swedes, and it is saying that they have a dark or black face, black skin, dark complexion. These are the ancestors of Caribbean and American blacks, not Africans. The transatlantic slave trade is a hoax. Benjamin Franklin said it himself, that in the 1700s, the inhabitants of Europe were black people. These are the people from whom American and Caribbean blacks descend, not Africans.